So here is my AgriConnect web app. So these are all my improvements that I made from part 2 into now part 3. First things first, you can see is that the vid here at the background is no longer at the top with the welcome and like 2 buttons underneath. It's now at the bottom, it's at the background with the welcome banner being in front, in the center, as well as a little about the company. So even if I do scroll, you can see that this vid here takes the entire screen, which I think is much better and more modern looking. So now I'm just gonna log in as a user. The first thing you can see is that when I log in, I'm taken to the login page. One thing to know is that over here, you won't be able to see a log out. This only pops up once the user has logged in and the login button disappears. Because it makes more sense that if you've logged in, you don't need to log in again, but you need to log out. So that's why I just had them like that. So if I log in, let's say for example, as a farmer, all my buttons as well are all now consistent as they weren't in part 2. But you can just see here how they are all consistent. Over here again, the log out button does display, and it's like I said, the login disappears. So this is the farmer dashboard, same as part 2's, but the difference is now I can actually add a product, which before I couldn't because you needed the role ID to add a product. So and now it all works because we actually have the roles being assigned. So let me just add a product quickly. And you can see here again, my buttons are the same. So again, consistency throughout the application. With here, I'm just showing you how I don't have a URL for the image, but the default one does get populated for the user. Solar, what did I say? This is low previous, solar. Get that out. Very reliable solar roofing. Yeah, and then we're going to add. As you can see, here's a little summary of what I just inputted. So I have the solar roofing, solar energy, 5,000, none, and then my description. If I would like to edit something, I can just go to the edits and it'll take me back here. Let's say I want to say, I've got an exclamation mark, add, everything's good. And now I'm happy, now I can finally confirm. And this will now take me to my product list. So all the products from me that I made. So here they all are, and the one that I just made here is solar roofing at the bottom. So one thing to note is that I did change the viewing from my previous one. It was just a boring list format before, but now I changed it into a bit of a more user-friendly, more modern-looking one. So here, when I said the default images are here, you can just see the default images being populated over here. And then the name of each of the products, as well as the description below and the price. One thing to know is that when you do hover over, it does kind of like bubble up, which is just a nice little subtle effect. And then when you do click on one, it does expand to show you the full product information. So it's the name of the product, the image or default image in this case, the description, the price, the type, and the date added, which was 2 days ago at 22:12. But if we go to the one we just made right now, solar roofing, so there's the name, default image, the description you put in, the price, the type, they've added. So here, there you go. Back to the dashboard. And even from here, I'm just going to now log out, or I can go back to my home page. Just want to show you, if I go back to the home page, I still am technically logged in, as you can see. So if I were to go back here, it would take me back to my dashboard. If I were to log out, however, and then try and go back again, it would say access denied, you don't have permission to view this page, and then it will take me to login. So my reasoning here was, I don't want the users to be shown a big screen saying they can't have access. I'd rather them say, be notified that they don't have access, and then be prompted to log in for them to gain that access back again. Yeah, so I think it's a nice feature. Okay, you log in as a admin user. I used the wrong details to log in, so I'm going to show you the error message that popped up. Or that pops up. I just type some random stuff and I say log in. it does say invalid. So it does give me error handling essentially. Okay, so this is the employee dashboard. One thing to note, you can still see the 3 cards as my part 2, exactly the same. If we go to the view all users, so here, there's just a list of all the users. I just thought it would be more practical for an employee just to see a bunch of the list instead of seeing it in like a format, or in this particular format. So they can still filter. So by, let's say, for example, if I say 7, this is all 7, 17, 27. And if I want to filter by, let's say, email, just say Penny from the Big Bang. Penny. There you go, it's Penny. So we can just see all the user information. So that's just the basic user list. Now, if I want to view all my products, it's a very similar format to the user list. Again, just for practicality use, it's just a bunch of all the details that they need and all the columns that are relevant. And I can also, if I say biomass, bio, there you can see all the biomasses over here. If I go for the product, say 300, I can see all 300. And then if we go back, we're going to be seeing the create a user. This is the final thing that I have for the employee side. One thing to note here with the pass is that you are required to have capital letter, a lowercase letter, special case, and it has to be more than 8 characters. So it's one of the special features for the password, but it's like the standard practices for password. Okay, so here now the user or the employee would be prompted to go into the login just to confirm that they are able to log in as the employee they just made. So we'll just go here with the username as Sheldon C at agriconnect.co.za, and then his password, and then login. And that should take you to the to the employee dashboard because he was an employee with his email address. So just to go a brief overview of my changes that I made, it was the welcome page, this one here. It was the consistent headings, so the heading 1s, the heading 2s that I had. My buttons were all the same, so the UI was consistent. The third thing, the major thing, was the role assignment. So the roles now do exist and they are properly assigned and made. And then the user access as well, that prohibits someone from entering into a page they don't have access to. Thank you so much, and have a great day.